2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, Australia and New Zealand. This is the post-match press conference for match 56 between Colombia and Jamaica. I would like to welcome Coach Lauren Donaldson. Please note that we have interpretation in both English and Spanish. If you plan on asking the question in Spanish, please announce beforehand so that the coach would put the translation on. If you have a question, raise your hand, wait for the microphone, state your name, your organization, and then ask your question. Questions? Anyone?
Joe Lynch for ESPN asking my question in English. Coach Lawn, comes at the end of the tournament for your side. Could you basically just sum up your emotions that you're feeling right now? How proud are you of what your group's been able to accomplish in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just give Colombia credit. They were better than us tonight, and I have to, give them that credit. And just summing it up for us, just with coming in with no games, I feel very happy for the players that they could perform at this level without getting adequate games to play. So I am very pleased with them, and you know what, they gave it everything tonight. We weren't very, very good tonight, but that's football, and so they should be proud of themselves, and I'm very proud of them.
Lauren, Jonathan Temple from the Philadelphia Inquirer. We were talking yesterday, you brought it up yourself about how things went after the 2019 tournament ended, and I know that it's a little close right now in the moment to things just ending, but what do you hope happens now and to really get this sustainable for the long term?
Yeah, and that's a good question because, again, I told you in Jamaica, the 2019, nothing happened. So obviously, maybe with some help from maybe even the government, even though FIFA and the government don't really mix, but hopefully we all can come together now and try to figure something out so we don't do something adgy-podgy all the time, so we can have some decent young players, so we need to have a good transition going in and start preparing for the future tomorrow, start looking at stuff.
Lord, Jeff Kassouf, over with the Guardian and Equalizer in U.S. Speaking of that future, a quick turnaround to another very big game for the group with another tournament around the corner. What do you say in terms of how to get them immediately ready after maybe a disappointment like this, and what do you hope for in that game coming up?
Yeah, but as I always say, it's a disappointment, and everybody who is not here is disappointed. Only one team's going to win. So the sun is going to come up tomorrow, so we have to be ready to go and just get on with our life. So, just again, tell them, magnificent job. Nobody expected this, so let's kind of build on what we started and see what happens in the next tournament.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Tamara Griffin with The Athletic. Yesterday we were talking about a lot of the cultural similarities between the two teams in terms of how you show up on the field, the joy with which you play. I think tonight we saw another set of similarities in terms of the grit and the intensity. Did it feel like a game of margins to you? And if so, beyond the obvious of the goal itself, what do you think it was that sort of gave Colombia the edge in the end?
I just think they had a better game. I don't think nothing. It wasn't anything really tactically. I think technically they were just better than us tonight. Just in terms of the passing and don't giving the ball in bad spots. We made some bad mistakes. But I again credit them. They were ready to play. I think we were ready to play, but they were just better on a night like this.
Coach, forgive me if I've got this wrong, but looking up your contract status, your contract appears to come to an end after this coming tournament, these coming Olympic qualifiers. Would you like to sort out an extension to agree to something before that tournament starts? Do you want to stick around with this team in the long run?
Well, that's a question when we get to the end of that road. I tell you, we work in a country sometimes it's a lot of chaos, so we're going to figure that out and see what we want to do. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I have had a good run. So after the September game, then, the Olympic qualifier, I don't think anybody's going to do anything before that, knowing the way, you know, we work in Jamaica. I don't think it's going to happen, anything going to happen before, but I think wait until after that and we see what happens.
Would you like to?
Well, that would be a discussion. If, I mean, if I would like to, it's my country. I think that we need to sit down and sort some stuff out, you know, so yeah.
This question is for Lauren. My name is Candace Buckner with the Washington Post. Kind of piggybacking off his question, but for the sport in Jamaica, what do you hope that young girls take away from watching the Reggae Girls?
Yeah, and you know, it's something we hope go well. You know, currently Sidella Marley has a program in Jamaica that she's actually running, okay, and it's a very good program for young girls. And hopefully now we can get more young ladies involved in the program. And I think the girls watching this and people are up, you know, win or lose, somebody, you know, they get something out of it. So what I'm saying is, I hope everybody now in Jamaica can embrace women's football and just make sure that from the primary school all the way up, you know, can say, okay, we want to do this.
Lauren, you've got a lot of players on this team who are collegians in the U.S. or unattached professionally, club-wise at the moment. How do you hope to get more of your players into full-time, better club environments to further raise the level?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good thing because we have a lot of collegiate players, and you know, I mean, most of these teams we play in are all full professionals, you know, from they were 16. So we still have a lot of college players. So hopefully, you know, we can start getting some of our players, maybe even at a younger age group, and just figure it out how they're going to play football. Because I also think education is very, very, very important. And you know, can they play and you know get a college degree? I mean, and that might be the next thing that we have to look at. How can we do that? So yeah, you're right. We need to get them in an environment where they're playing professional 24/7.
Coach, maybe building off the back of that, being based here, speaking to some of the figures involved in the local A-League women competition, they've been speaking about, there's been some interest in some of your players. Do you anticipate any of your players sticking around and signing contracts here in Australia in the A-League women competition?
Yeah, I would say, you know, it's a strong possibility. You know, I mean, they see the environment in Australia, and you know, they like it. I mean, if I was a player, I would be like, yeah, sign me. But you know, I don't play. So hopefully some of them can stick around and you know, start playing at that level.
Donaldson, Fernando Valecri Barros from Brazil, Estado de São Paulo Group. First of all, congratulations. Your team did a very good football, very good World Cup. But now it's time to analyze why Jamaica lose and what is the lessons that you got from this tournament, what this tournament can improve the quality of the level of the game of your team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. I mean, I think that's, you know, I mean, I would love to answer that question, but that's one of those questions we got to sit down and just analyze what happens and how we prepare and, you know, how many games we had. I mean, our big problem coming in, we had no games, you know. We had no games, international games. So, I mean, the international games, first international game we have had in, you know, 4 or 5 months was here, okay? When they blow, or 6 months, when they blow the whistle, that was our first game. So all we did was a few camps. So I can do that by getting more games and getting players better prepared. You know, if we have games, you know, I mean, like, you know, so, and I think because they're going to change the way the Caribbean football and carnival and all that stuff, we will play some more international games. So we will use a lot of those games when they come up, the Gold Cup for the women's and all that as preparation. So that's good stuff for women.
Lauren Dictabano from Keep Up Australia. Going into this game, did you have conversations about how to try and nullify that crowd? I mean, it was obviously very much a Colombian dominant sort of crowd today, but were there conversations about how to handle that given, you know, what you guys were coming up against today?
Yeah, I don't think that fazed us. Who I mean, you know, it's a lot of yellow in the crowd. Maybe they think it was people cheering for them because it was all yellow. So, you know, I don't think the crowd has anything to do with this match. I mean, I don't think, you know, we're Jamaican. We're not fazed by a crowd or anything. It's just, again, we just went out there and we just didn't play to our standard. And, you know, Colombia just played better. But the crowd has nothing to do with it, no.
Any more questions? Yeah.
I don't know what was asked, I'm just getting here, but Coach, the team made Jamaica proud. I mean, the whole nation is behind us. You mentioned CONMEBOL merging with CONCACAF, so much is coming up. So how far do you see this team going, and can they get back here next time?
Well, with more games now, and those games we have to play them, we're hoping that we can get a bigger pool of players and develop players, and, it's always our hope to get back to the World Cup. So, we will just, let it be, and we will just see.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's been a good ride. It's been a good tournament. Thanks.
Coach, tough one, commiserations. Take us through the game. Tell us what happened.
I think we started out well the first 10 minutes, and then after that we just went into a different direction. Our older play wasn't good. We couldn't link the game. It's a lot of bad passes. To me, it was an overall, it wasn't a great performance. I mean, we work hard. That was one thing, but I think the Colombians were better than us tonight. Technically, they were better than us, and so we didn't execute, stuff that normally we could. So that makes it tough, and when we can't hold the ball up top and connect, it's going to be some long days. And I think our older play, we just couldn't find the game and connect. In the latter part of the game, we just tried to, could have scored still. One hit the post, and a great header from Drew, but with that, it wasn't enough. The Colombian had some chances too, so I can just say they had more chances. They had the one goal that matters, but again, it's coming into this tournament, without games and all that kind of stuff. I'm proud of the girls to come in and put up a strong fight in every single game, so the girls can hold their heads high. I think it's something now that we can build on as a country, and just realize that we can do much better. But overall, it was a great time. It was a fun time. I think we learned a lot. I think we learned a lot about our diaspora and all the support we get from all over the world. And I think it's a great learning experience that we can use to propel ourselves to the next level in women's football.
Talking about propelling yourself to the next level, you have some great youngsters, Coach. The average age of the team, I think, is about 23. When you put everybody together, that must be a nice launching pad for the next 4 years.
Yeah, it's good to have some young players, and there's a few youngsters in Jamaica right now that train with us while we were down there. Very, 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 very good players. The thing we're looking at is how can we expose some of these younger players to professional clubs. That will come with some financing. I can get them to professional clubs, some of our young players in Jamaica, and they're very good. Okay, so we can start getting these youngsters in our squad, because obviously there's going to be a few players that we will not have for the next cycle. But this team is very young, so most of these players will be back. But there's some players, again, not just in Jamaica, all over the, players who are in college right now, or players who are in different diaspora who are knocking on the door trying to get in. So we will see. I like the pool of players that we have, and we spend a lot of time just trying to build that pool. So hopefully we can build a great pool, and any 11 players we pick from that pool to play a game will give us success.
Coach, looking forward to the Olympic qualifiers coming up. The team show that it can play with the best at this tournament. How confident are we now going ahead against the Canadians?
Yeah, the Olympic qualifier, we have 2 games, one on the 22nd in Jamaica, and then we have the 26th September in Canada. I think the players now felt that they can play with Anybody, you know. Obviously, we have to fix some things, you know. Defensively, we know that, but now we have to fix some stuff. How can we get goals, you know, or how can we link up a little bit better going forward? Because it wasn't. Tonight was evident that we didn't do a good job of that. So there's work to be done, and obviously stuff like that comes with games. But before that game, we don't have any games before because everybody will be at their club and there will be limited training. So we're just gonna fly in for that game. But maybe we can people can just sit back and just see, and we will talk to the group what we can do better going forward to take us to the next level.
Thank you, Coach.